There's a big difference, Senator, between established science and the scientific establishment, which has been co-opted by the pharmaceutical industry.
So you're telling the American people that the American Medical Association, representing hundreds of thousands of people, have been co-opted and that they should not trust their doctors. And the American Academy of Pediatrics, and by the way, just for the record, every single Republican, I don't mean to be political here, Mr. Chairman, has received PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. Are they all corrupt as well?
And I'm telling you, the American Heart Association has been co-opted by the food
Everybody
industry.
but you, Senator. But you know what? When you ran for president, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. Maybe you will agree with me on that. Okay, you were already president, you got $1.5 billion behind it. You received $300,000 from people, not from the industry, people in it, as I did, from individuals. You corrupt. President Trump got $3 million. Every Republican got corporate PAC money for the pharmaceutical industry. Democrats as well. Everybody is corrupt, but you?
Welcome back to Right View Nation, Patriots. Before we get into today's explosive takedown, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share this video with fellow truth seekers, and drop a comment below to let the world know where you stand. This is the place where we speak unapologetic truth, no matter how uncomfortable it makes the radical left.
President Trump, who I don't usually agree with, called COVID vaccines, quote, one of the greatest miracles in the history of modern-day medicine that saved tens of millions of lives worldwide. Scientific community agrees with Trump. Lancet study found that it prevented almost 20 million deaths during their first year of use. Secretary Kennedy, are President Trump and the medical community right, or do you still believe that the COVID vaccine was, quote, the deadliest vaccine ever made?
No, first of all, I didn't say that. I said that in terms of affairs reports a while ago. I said today, I think that President Trump should get the Nobel Prize.
So who's right? Is Trump in the medical community right, or are you right?
President Trump did an extraordinary piece of leadership.
Is he right or wrong? Did COVID save millions of lives?
As I said, he got Americans back to work. At that time, that particular vaccine was perfectly matched to the virus that was circulating then. And I have no idea how many lives it saved, but it saved quite a few.
What I find a little bit weird in this discussion, I'm hearing it over and over again this morning, Mr. Chairman, is we've got the entire medical community on one side. You got the AMA representing hundreds of thousands of doctors, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Public Health Association. All of these organizations are telling us that COVID vaccine and vaccines in general are safe and effective. You are casting doubt on that. Who are who are the organizations that are agreeing with you and casting aspersions on vaccines?
The primary advisors are Marty McCary, Jay Bhattacharya, Dr. Oz, Vinay Prasad.
So you got a few doctors who agree with you, and I'm giving you the
name. Not a few doctors. What you're talking about is there's a big difference, Senator, between established science and the scientific establishment, which has been co-opted by the pharmaceutical industry.
So you're telling the American people that the American Medical Association, representing hundreds of thousands of people, have been co-opted and that they should not trust their doctors. And the American Academy of Pediatrics, and by the way, just for the record, every single Republican, I don't mean to be political here, Mr. Chairman, has received PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. Are they all corrupt as well?
And I'm telling you, the American Heart Association has been co-opted by the food
Everybody
industry.
but you, Senator. But you know what? When you ran for president, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. Maybe you will agree with me on that. Okay, you were already president, you got $1.5 billion behind it. You received $300,000 from people, not from the industry, people in it, as I did, from individuals. You corrupt. President Trump got $3 million. Every Republican got corporate PAC money for the pharmaceutical industry. Democrats as well. Everybody is corrupt, but you? Is that what we're looking at? I don't think so. And I think the issue now...
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, I think you do know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The issue is every time anyone disagrees with you...
Are you saying the pharmaceutical industry was supporting my presidential campaign?
I'm saying,
I don't think so.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the pharmaceutical industry is a greedy institution which is charging us the highest prices in the world. They are pervasive. But to suggest that every institution, the AMA, the pediatrics people, is corrupt because they disagree with you is an insult to the American people.
Listen, people disagree with me all the time. I have arguments in my agency, heated arguments every day with Jay Bhattacharya, with Marty McCary, with Dr. Oz.
You have given the names of a few people. I have given you the names of organizations representing hundreds of thousands of doctors and scientists. I yield, Mr. President.
Senator Tillis.
Now let's get straight into it. We just watched Senator Bernie Sanders doing what he always does best, standing there, wagging his finger, and lecturing the American people about how we should bow down to the so-called consensus of bureaucrats and global elites. This man wants you to believe that the pharmaceutical industry, the same one he pretends to criticize for high drug prices, is somehow the shining beacon of honesty when it comes to the COVID vaccine. Let's get real, patriots. Bernie isn't protecting the people, he's protecting the establishment. He kept parroting the talking points of the AMA, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and every other alphabet soup organization that's knee-deep in pharma money. He says, trust the experts. Which experts, Bernie? The ones who flip-flop every 6 months? The ones who told us masks work, then don't, then do again? The ones who shut down dissenting doctors because they dared to question the narrative? Bernie thinks it's outrageous to suggest that these institutions have been co-opted. But let's face facts. When every single one of them gets funding from Big Pharma and big government, are they really independent voices, or are they part of the propaganda machine? He knows it. We know it. But he won't admit it. And let's not forget the hypocrisy. Bernie Sanders has made a career out of screaming about corporate greed. Yet when it comes to COVID vaccines, he suddenly wants us to ignore the billions in profit being raked in by Pfizer and Moderna. He calls the system corrupt on Monday, then turns around on Tuesday and says, trust the system. Patriots, you can't make this up. What's worse is how he tried to paint anyone who questions the narrative as a danger, as if free Americans should just shut up and obey. That's not leadership. That's authoritarianism wrapped in socialist double talk. This is the same Bernie Sanders who honeymooned in the Soviet Union, and he hasn't stopped worshiping at the altar of big government control since. Here's the truth. Questioning authority, holding Big Pharma accountable, and demanding transparency is not dangerous. It's what every American should do. But Bernie doesn't want that. He wants compliance. He wants silence. He wants you to be a cog in the machine, while elites in DC and corporate boardrooms make the rules. So let's be clear, Bernie Sanders is not the voice of the people. He's the voice of the establishment, cloaked in socialist rhetoric. He's not standing up to corporate power. He's enabling it when it suits his agenda. And here at Right View Nation, we're not buying it. If you're sick of the lies, if you're tired of being told to sit down and obey, then you're in the right place. Like this video, share it far and wide, and drop a comment below. Do you trust Bernie Sanders and his so-called experts, or do you trust your God-given right to think and decide for yourself? And don't forget, patriots, subscribe to Right View Nation for more unapologetic truth that the mainstream media will never dare to tell you. Because together, we are the voice of real America. Stay strong, stay free, and stay unapologetic. This is Right View Nation, where the truth lives.